Have you ever considered how much we rely on electricity and what would happen if it suddenly became scarce? We use electricity in nearly every facet of our daily lives, from the moment we hit the snooze button on our alarms in the morning to the time we switch off our bedside lamps at night. It powers our homes, fuels our industries, and even charges the devices that keep us connected to the world. In short, electricity is the lifeblood of our modern civilization. Currently, the United States enjoys a robust electricity supply. Power plants hum tirelessly, grids crisscross the country, and electrons flow freely to meet our demands. Yet, beneath this surface of abundance, there are signs of strain. Our hunger for electricity continues to grow, and the infrastructure that feeds it is beginning to show its age. But what if this lifeline starts to dwindle? Let's dive deeper. The looming power shortage isn't a result of a single cause, but rather a combination of factors. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room: increased demand. As our population grows and technology advances, so does our appetite for electricity. Everything from our refrigerators to our smartphones, our hospitals to our schools all rely on a steady stream of power. Our lives are more electrified than ever, and this trend shows no signs of slowing down. Then there's the issue of our aging infrastructure. Many of our power grids were designed and built in the mid-20th century, a time when the population was smaller and the demands on the system were far less. These outdated grids are now struggling to meet the increased demands of today, let alone tomorrow. It's like trying to run a marathon in your granddad's old shoes. They've served us well, but they're not up to the task anymore. Next, we face the challenge of transitioning from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources. While this shift is necessary for the health of our planet, it's not without its hurdles. Renewable energy sources like wind and solar are intermittent, meaning they don't provide a constant supply of power. Plus, we're still figuring out how to store renewable energy effectively for those times when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing. Finally, we can't ignore the impact of climate change. Extreme weather events, from heat waves to hurricanes, put immense strain on our power grids. These events are becoming more frequent and more intense due to climate change, further exacerbating the issue of electricity shortage. These factors, individually and collectively, pose a significant threat to our power supply. Our increasing demand for electricity, our aging infrastructure, the challenges of transitioning to renewable energy, and the impacts of climate change are all contributing to the looming electricity shortage. It's a complex problem that calls for complex solutions, but understanding these causes is the first step towards addressing the issue. So, what happens if we continue on this path without making any significant changes? Well, let's start with the most immediate and visceral impact: frequent power outages. As the demand for electricity continues to outpace the aging infrastructure's ability to deliver it, the result is an overburdened system that's prone to failures. Power outages may become more frequent and last longer than we're used to. We're talking about more than just a few hours here, folks, but potentially days or even weeks. Now, when the lights go out, it's more than just an inconvenience. It's a domino effect that ripples through our economy. Businesses can't operate without power. Manufacturing grinds to a halt. Even digital transactions, the lifeblood of modern commerce, can't take place. The result could be economic downturns, with jobs lost and livelihoods threatened. But it doesn't stop there. Prolonged and persistent electricity shortages could lead to social unrest. Imagine the discomfort of living without power for extended periods. No air conditioning in the heat of summer, no heating in the dead of winter. Food spoilage because refrigerators and freezers can't run. It's a scenario that could strain the social fabric and lead to unrest. And let's not forget about the environment. If we continue to lean heavily on fossil fuels to meet our electricity demands, we're also continuing to pump greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. This could accelerate climate change, leading to more extreme weather events, which in turn put further strain on our already overburdened power grid. It's a vicious cycle, and one we need to break. So, let's be clear. The effects of a power shortage go beyond a simple inconvenience. It's a chain reaction that could have serious consequences for our economy, our society, and our planet. This is why understanding the causes and potential impacts of an electricity shortage and preparing for it is so crucial. Because change is needed, and it's needed now. But here's the good news. We can prepare ourselves for this potential future. First off, let's talk about personal preparedness. It's essential to have an emergency plan in place, and this includes preparing for power outages. When the lights go out, You need to know how to keep your home warm or cool, how to cook your food, and how to keep your devices charged. One practical step is to create a power outage kit. This kit could include items like flashlights, batteries, a battery-powered radio, and a power bank for your phone. Plus, it's also worth considering investing in alternative power sources such as solar panels or generators. Now, let's move on to community readiness. No man is an island, as they say, and this is especially true in times of crisis. Your community can be a vital resource in sharing knowledge and physical resources. For instance, your neighbor might have a generator that they're willing to share. Or perhaps you could pool resources to invest in solar panels for your apartment block. The key here is communication. Talk to your neighbors, build those relationships, and work together to prepare for any eventuality. Next up, investing in alternatives. We've touched on this a bit already, but it's worth delving deeper. Transitioning to renewable energy sources isn't just beneficial for the environment. It's also a practical step towards self-sufficiency. Solar panels, wind turbines, or even a small hydroelectric generator if you live near a water source can all provide a degree of energy independence. And don't forget about energy-efficient appliances. These can significantly reduce your energy consumption, making your alternative energy sources go even further. Finally, we have education and awareness. Knowledge is power. The more you understand about the energy situation, the better prepared you'll be. Read up on the subject, attend seminars or webinars, join forums, and ask questions. And don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share it with your family, friends, and community. The more people understand the importance of energy conservation and preparation, the better equipped we'll all be to face the future. In conclusion, the looming electricity shortage is a complex issue with no easy solutions. But by taking personal responsibility for our preparedness, working with our communities, investing in alternative energy sources, and educating ourselves and others, we can mitigate the impacts and navigate these challenging times with grace and resilience. Preparedness is not just about survival, it's about ensuring a quality of life during challenging times. Understanding the electricity shortage, foreseeing the challenges, and the critical role of preparedness are all important steps in navigating the future. We've taken a deep dive into the causes and potential consequences of an electricity shortage in the United States. From the increasing demand due to population growth and technological advancements, to the aging infrastructure that's struggling to keep up. We've also explored the challenges that come with the shift towards renewable energy sources and how climate change can put additional strain on our already overburdened power grids. Looking into our crystal ball, we've predicted a future without change. It's a future rife with frequent and prolonged power outages, potential economic downturns, and a variety of social consequences. If we continue to rely heavily on fossil fuels, we're also looking at further environmental degradation. It's not a pretty picture, to say the least, but it's not all doom and gloom. We can take steps to prepare. We can create personal emergency plans, put together power outage kits, and explore alternative power sources. We can work as a community to share resources and knowledge, and we can invest in renewable energy sources and energy-efficient appliances to reduce our demand on the grid. Education and awareness are key. If we understand the problem, we can prepare for it. If we foresee the challenges, we can take steps to mitigate them. If we appreciate the critical role of preparedness, we can navigate the future with confidence and resilience. And remember, every journey starts with a single step. Maybe that step is turning off the lights when you leave a room. Maybe it's investing in a solar panel. Or maybe it's simply sharing this video with friends and family to spread awareness about the importance of energy conservation and readiness. So the question isn't if we should start preparing, but when. The time to act is now, because the future waits for no one, and neither should we. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this case, it could be quite literal. We've come a long way today, unraveling the complex web of electricity shortage in the United States. We've understood its causes, peered into a future that might be, and learned how to prepare ourselves for such a scenario. Now it's up to you to take the next step. Why not hit that like button if you found this information useful? Better yet, subscribe and join our community of forward thinkers and preppers. We've got plenty more guides and discussions lined up for you. And don't forget to drop a comment below. Maybe you have a unique preparation tip to share, or perhaps a question that's been on your mind. Stay connected. Keep the conversation going. After all, we're all in this together, learning from each other, preparing for a future that might challenge us in ways we can't fully anticipate yet. Stay prepared, stay informed, and remember, the future is in our hands.